to the entertainment Talking Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video as I recap the Week 16 matchup between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. And this was a game that was being touted as the Chase Young Bowl by a lot of people. Obviously, a lot of fans from both sides were hoping that their team would lose to get Chase Young, or, the higher draft pick. And as of now, the Redskins, because of the loss, sit at number 2. The Giants now have dropped to number 3. And if the Lions were to lose today, right now, they lead 10-7. So if that score were to hold in the second half, the Giants would stay in the 3 spot because we got lucky, and the Dolphins narrowly held on. So the Giants still are in the lead over the Miami Dolphins with the draft position. But going into the last week of the season, the only way we'll be able to get Chase Young at this point, if the Lions hold on and win, we would need the Washington Redskins to win the last week, and we would need to lose. We would shift back into the 2 spot. If the Lions lose this game this week, we would need both the Lions and the Redskins to win, and we would have to lose to jump back in. So it's not very realistic. I do not see the Redskins winning that game next week, especially because right now the Eagles look as if they probably will beat the Cowboys. Now, anything could happen there, but if the Eagles beat the Cowboys will have something to play for against the Washington Redskins, and I just don't see the Redskins beating the Dallas Cowboys. So we'll have to see how it all plays out, but I do not think we'll be getting the number 2 pick. And for all the Chase Young people, and I would have loved Chase Young, I'll be the first to say it, and I always recognize both sides. Now, there were a lot of very positive things to take out of this game in terms of the players currently on our team. I'm not just talking draft at this point, but for all the people that are Chase Young people, probably not going to get him. You hope to stay at the 3 or 4 spot so you can get the next best player, whether it's, say, Andrew Thomas, whoever, whether it's the cornerback, everybody's talking about Okudah, whoever it's going to be, Simmons, but we'll see how it all plays out down the stretch. But the positive that I take from this, if the Eagles win this game, the Giants will have an opportunity next week to probably end the Eagles' season, which to me, if we're not going to get Chase Young anyway, let's end their season. Let's knock them out if we can. So that's something I'll be looking forward to next week, draft position or not. But as far as this game goes, Giants and the Redskins, both teams have been pitiful all year. And, there were a lot of storylines coming in. You had Dwayne Haskins versus Daniel Jones, the two, highly thought of quarterbacks going into the draft. Haskins went 15. A lot of people thought that Haskins wanted to be a New York Giant. He showed disgust on draft night. He's since moved on. Matter of fact, it's not even what people thought. Haskins wanted to be a New York Giant. He wasn't shy about it. He shared it over social media, take me back to the crib, this, that, the other thing. But regardless, it lived up to the hype. Both quarterbacks came out playing great. Haskins had a perfect QB rating, I think 10 to 12, something like that. And then he got hurt. Yeah, but he had a really good start to the game. Him and McLaurin had really good chemistry. And yeah, they had a great game. He had a great game before the injury. Now, I think he suffered an ankle injury. It didn't look too serious. He was able to walk it off after being carted off. So I think they'll probably sit him out the last game of the season. But yeah, if you're a Redskins fan, Haskins 12 of 15, 133 yards with a 143 QB rating and 2 touchdowns. As far as the Giants go, on the offense, it literally was probably the greatest game you could have ever hoped for. Daniel Jones goes 28 of 42, 352 yards, and 5 touchdowns, including a game-winning touchdown pass in the end zone in overtime to Smith against the Redskins. He is now only the 3rd rookie quarterback in the history of football to have 3 games in which he threw for 4 or more touchdowns in a game. And one of them was Y.A. Tittle, I believe. So, that's just incredible stuff. The other one is Watson, who's one of the best quarterbacks in football. Daniel Jones this season, coming off the ankle sprain, bounces back. He's been ridiculous. Since that Patriot game, just looking at his numbers, outside of the fumbles, which he fumbled again today, fortunately the Giants were able to recover it. But outside of the fumbling problems, which we all know needs to improve, this guy's got 17 touchdowns and 2 picks since the New England Patriots game. Daniel Jones is the future of this team. And I've tried to be as patient as possible and try to take it in stride. Dan Jones is going to be a good quarterback. I'm confident in saying that. Dan Jones is going to be a good quarterback, and he's going to be a franchise quarterback. And that is what you should be happy about this season, New York Giants fans. If nothing else, it is that. And the other thing that you should be incredibly encouraged with after today, Saquon Barkley, for all the people that said, was this a bust? Is this guy a bust? Was it a one-year wonder? Think twice. Saquon Barkley last week came back, bounced back, played great. About 150 scrimmage yards, 2 touchdowns. Today, this guy went up for almost 300 scrimmage yards. He had 189 yards on the ground. He had almost 100 yards receiving. He busted that big touchdown run for 67 yards, and he was insane. In terms of individual performances offensively, they were great. The offensive line held up. There was a clean pocket for a lot of Daniel Jones' throws, so that was something nice to see. In terms of the receivers, Barkley, Tate made a couple of really nice throws. He had almost 100 yards. Slayton was not involved. That was a little discouraging to see. He only had 2 targets, no yards. But regardless, as far as the offense goes, you couldn't have asked for a better contest. I mean, the offense played their asses off. Now, by the same token, the defense, in which I thought really took a lot of strides last week, definitely came crashing back down to earth today. Against the Washington Redskins team, whose offense does not rank that good to begin with. The defense certainly struggled. Now, there were certainly a lot of good individual performances, great individual performances. I thought Leonard Williams, you've really seen, in terms of clogging the middle, they've done a good job. Let me pull up the running stats here, but it was just evident to me throughout the game. He had 26 carries, 80 yards. They only averaged 3.1 yards a carry. Leonard Williams has made a big difference in the middle with the ground game for this defense. Dexter Lawrence got some pressure. B.J. Hill came up with a sack. But, yeah, I mean, the front seven played well tonight. David Mayo was pretty good side to side. I thought the front seven played well. Mayo ended up with 10 tackles. DeAndre Baker, who had 10 tackles, had a bad game. He got torn to shreds by McLaurin time in and time out. It is what it is. He's a rookie. But, yeah, he got picked on today. The secondary as a whole got picked on. Golden came up with a half sack, so he's got 9.5 sacks on the year. Lorenzo Carter, to me, was the big standout on the defensive end, though. And one thing I want to say, they made an adjustment. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't recall them playing Carter up at the line of scrimmage much throughout the season. He was mainly in that outside linebacker spot. Well, today, Betcher had him playing up at the line of scrimmage, in the D tackle position a lot of times. It seems as if he was in the center, and it worked. He was getting pressure, so I want to give Betcher credit for that. I thought it was a really good adjustment. But overall, I mean, the secondary, we had a 28-14 lead, and the defense played really well at that point. And then they kind of just went to hell there down the stretch. The Redskins had the ball on their own 1-yard line, and the Giants allowed them to go 99 yards. 99 yards. So the defense just did not get the job done. Now, to Keenum's credit, he made a lot of great throws. He was in the back of his own end zone, made a great throw. So it was a miracle that the Redskins even sent this to overtime. But, yeah, the secondary has to get a lot better. And, we hope it does. Didn't play that well today. There's no doubt about it. Keenum and Haskins basically did whatever they wanted against our secondary. But, the front seven, I think, is very encouraging. I think this defensive line could be a vital piece to our future. I do think we have a really good defensive line going forward, with Leonard Williams, with Dexter Lawrence and B.J. Hill, and, all the guys up there, I think are going to be really good players for the New York Giants. I think it'll be a strength of our defense going into next season. As far as the draft goes, I got to wait to see where we're picking. We could be picking anywhere from 2 to 6 still. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. But, I personally want to attack either an offensive tackle or a pass rusher. I'm not going to, at this point, I don't think we're getting Chase Young. But like I said, the later games, you're rooting for the Lions to come up with a win. That would be huge. And if they do, that would help the Giants stay in the 3 spot. We'll see how that all plays out. I'll probably have a video tomorrow going over all the different scenarios of where the Giants could finish, and then I'll get the mock drafts up and running once we find out where we're going to be picking. But don't expect Chase Young. I think Chase Young will be a Washington Redskin, which is scary. They got a good young pass rusher already over there in Montez Sweat. So I certainly get why New York Giants fans, especially when you factor in that the Washington Redskins are probably going to be the team that is awarded Chase Young. I certainly get why some New York Giants fans are upset. Not only are we not going to get him, he's going to be in the hands of a division rival for the next 10 to 15 years, which makes you think maybe we should get Andrew Thomas if we can. Because we're going to need all the help that we could get. And you can certainly make an argument that we could use all the help on the offensive line that we can handle. Being that we have a young quarterback, being that we're trying to build the team around a running back in Saquon Barkley. Well, if Barkley gets an offensive line, it would be like a cheat code. I mean, it would be ridiculous, but Barkley was phenomenal today. Guy had almost 300 scrimmage yards. He's back. So for anybody that panicked about that, and I am excited thinking about this offense going into next year, especially if you can improve that offensive line in the draft with cap space. Daniel Jones, the way he's played, Saquon Barkley, the way he's looked down the stretch, they're going to be dangerous, this offense. It's going to be a fun offense to watch next year. I'm really looking forward to it. Take it in stride. You beat 2 bad teams down the stretch. The Giants still aren't a good team. The defense is still struggling, but there's certainly some positive things to take from the last 2 weeks, and hopefully the Giants can build off it going into next year. And I don't think that a lot of momentum will carry over But to me, I like seeing my young quarterback play the way that he has. Daniel Jones has played phenomenal this year, and this was his best game of the year. 5 touchdowns from a rookie quarterback. Pretty crazy stuff. But, yeah, that's my take on the game. That's my take on the current draft situation of the New York Giants. I want to thank everybody who tuned into the live stream, who showed all the love and the support. You guys are phenomenal Giants fans, and, you know, regardless of what side you're on, I think everybody wants what's best for this team. It's just a difference of opinion. I respect everybody's opinion as fans, and I think everybody should. But as always, guys, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.